to make sure that everybody has a safe place to urinate and all those things. Which, yeah, I think all those things are important or worth discussion. But at the same time, you'll have countries that are still playing this Fidel Castro type of role. So you connect a lot of dots between like Israel and media, right? But do you think that it's just capitalism? Like, don't you think a lot of times it's just business, and that's how business works, is that they're, like it's one of the side effects of capitalism?
If that were the case, so the reason why this is different is because Israel is actually the exception. They are the only country that's allowed to lobby Americans. Like everyone else has to register as a foreign agent and under FARA.
Like with AIPAC or whatever?
Yeah, so AIPAC, the backstory, by the way, before JFK got shot, he was fighting AIPAC. They were previously called, I'm blanking on this, you can look it up. And he was literally saying you have to register under the Foreign Act.
Is that true? Let's look
1,000% true, and you should look it up. We should fact check that live. He was fighting with what is today known as AIPAC. Was renamed AZCPA. I don't know what that stood for.
In 1959, AZCPA was renamed AIPAC and American Israel Public Affairs Committee, reflecting a broader membership and mission.
Yeah. So JFK told them that they had to register under FARA, and so American Zionist Council. That's exactly what it was called.
Okay. American Zionist Council was a pro-Israel lobby in the United States, founded in 1949. It represented 9 nationwide Zionist organizations in matters related to...
See at the bottom there? In 1962, look at the last paragraph. In 1962,
President John F. Kennedy and his brother Bobby, as the U.S. Attorney General, forced the AZC to register as a foreign agent. In doing so, they were barred from making monetary contributions to U.S. officials. Who was barred? AZC?
Yeah, so AIPAC, for lack of a better term. They were called AZC back then, but continued to send out newsletters and hold events with a nonprofit tax exemption. Mm-hmm. And then what happened was he was shot. So he literally, they were writing him letters. You can find this. This is all this is available information. And he was like, you need to register, you need to register, you need to register. And then we told you to register. Why are you not registering? This makes no sense. And then AIPAC got lucky because he got shot and killed.
But also you could
So they are the reason why I'm bringing this up is not to further conspiracy theories.
Country?
They're the only country that's allowed to lobby Americans are not registered under the FARA Act. And so when you see these
under the
people,
what act?
FARA. So that's like if you're a foreign agent, you have to basically register, your communications are monitored, all of this stuff. But for whatever reason, Israel is an exception to this. And the reason is because JFK got shot, because otherwise they would have been under this. So that is the reason that they're allowed to do this. And so, when this, and then of course we're not allowed to read the files, but leading up to his death, he was having arguments with the Prime Minister, Ben Gurion. That's a fact, another fact. He was having heated arguments with Ben Gurion, and then look it up. JFK.
The Foreign Agents Registration Act is a U.S. law that requires people and entities working on behalf of foreign governments to register with the Department of Justice.
Mm-hmm. So it drives me insane to see these absolute frauds. Like when they go, oh, Russia spent $1 million, or whatever they said. I remember they came after Lauren Chen, and they're like, there is an idea that Russia spent money, and they'll say something like $26,000, or they spent $3 million, and influenced the election. And all of these people will be taking money from AIPAC. But they're like, oh, well, AIPAC got lucky. Well, JFK got shot.
But wasn't the Russia story that was figured out to be a facade?
Right. But so when you hear these people in your government saying this, you should know how fraudulent they are, because they all are taking money from Israel. And so it's like, yes, is Israel doing it legally because a president got shot? Sure. But it's wrong. A country should not be able to lobby to get what they want and control our congressmen. And you get to see them flex that muscle, like TikTok and things of nature, when they are now interfering with our speech, and they'll get laws passed really quickly. It allows literally a foreign country to make decisions in our nation. Lobbying should just not be allowed, full stop. So instead they go, oh, well, you're focusing on it because they're Jewish. No, you're just the only country that's allowed to do it. I would feel the same way if there was a Chinese lobby
that was spending. To do it?
No, there's no other country that's allowed to do this but Israel. Only AIPAC. There's no other country that everyone else has to register under the FARA Act, and that changes things significantly. AIPAC is the only, American Israel PAC, whatever it is allowed to spend $100 million in our elections and not be called names. Like if could you imagine if Russia spent $100 million on our elections? If there was like a Russia PAC or a Chinese PAC, and they were just allowed to spend that kind of money to lobby and pay our politicians to say things and to believe in things. And that should make people angry. Like, that should make people angry, irrespective. Like I said, it could be any country.
Unless, right, I agree with you that it's amazing.
Or let them all do it.
Right. If like America is owned by Israel or something, or part ownership or whatever, just tell us that.
Right. Well, they don't want to.
Like, that's the weird thing I don't understand. Like, wouldn't...
Now, I just want to say something, man. Y'all heard her say, why don't they just tell us? They said they don't want to. The truth is, man, the Jewish elite has been running America for a very long time. They've been running the banking systems in America for a long time. Way more serious than the regular Italian mafia. They extort a lot of artists for their wealth. As you see, shout out to Energy Stone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different people, man.
They run a lot of heavy influences industries in the country. I mean, let's not, this ain't no anti-Semitic, talk or nothing. This is just real talk.
The facts.
Why hide?
We know they gangsters.
Right. And we know y'all run that, when it comes to the entertainment industry in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the banking system.
The banking system.
Come on now. Why do you think that, we playing middleman in the war that's going on over there? You know, who do we back up first when they came up with this, Gaza and, that war?
Man, let me say
who do we
something,
back?
man.
We back Israel. Why?
I love everything that the Trump administration doing so far. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's will be improvements, but when I seen they continue to support, you know what I'm saying, the propaganda of Gaza or Palestinians being called Hamas, like, come on, man. Okay, the UN has sent military soldiers and aid workers over there from different countries. Mm-hmm. And you know what Israel did? They killed them.
Following this week's appalling killing of 7 humanitarian workers from World Central Kitchen, the Israeli government has acknowledged mistakes and announced some disciplinary measures. But the essential problem is not who made the mistakes. It is the military strategy and procedures in place that allow for those mistakes to multiply time and time again. It is obviously for the government of Israel to accept the possibility of that independent investigation, because the investigation can only work with the cooperation of the Israeli authorities. But as I said, the question is not this only specific incident.
No,
196 humanitarian workers have been killed, and we want to know why each one of them was killed.
Said he was guilty. You see what I'm saying? So we get that. And we see that as American citizens now. We see that. And we wonder, hold on, you say it's going to be some change. We looking right at this too. Mm-hmm. And this ain't no anti-Semitic, we hate the Jew stuff. We love the Jews. But leadership is corrupt everywhere. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't sign up for wars. You would start to question things in a different way. And so it becomes important for the government to keep Americans ignorant of how Congress works, what's going on, so that they believe their congressman when they go on a rant and say, Israel's our friend and ally, and they don't know how to just very easily look up and see whether this guy's taking money, or when someone says, this vaccine's going to save your life, and they don't know, what's happened with the CDC, or people don't even have basic civics understanding, but that's by design.
Like, because I don't like what Israel, like their space in Gaza, right? Like that to me is just like seems super tyrannical.
That's wrong.
But didn't they just come up with a thing today about the ICC? They can't prosecute Netanyahu?
Yeah, because he runs shit.
Is that today?
Yeah, he's like the ultimate gangster. He's like, even when they catch him doing the crimes, and we created this court for exactly what it did, they said, you can't do this. Then they say, well, just cancel the courts. Can you imagine being like that much of a worldwide gangster?
Powerful.
It's crazy.
Right. And I wish they would just say, look, we're still letting everybody be gangsters, because that's what I don't like about the media a lot of times. There's this thing. It's like we all need to look out for each other, and we need like climate change, and we.
Thank y'all for tuning in. It's America First Golden Age. And I'm Tyrone T.Y.
And the LTs.
Thank y'all, man. Like and subscribe and share. Peace.
Peace.
I've got the perfect answer for the ADL. They are going to have to listen up. What we did is we brought Netanyahu with us.
I mean, I'm in the twilight zone right now.
Netanyahu, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
So you don't like Benjamin Netanyahu?
I just heard about this guy 2 weeks ago since like the tweet. He's like a super killer. I could die for saying this. So in case this is the last time you ever hear from me.
Well, look.